Blogger Roundup. It is myOrganized.life live, August 23rd, 2019. One more week to go before the final week of August. The final Blogger Roundup of August will be next Friday. Can you believe it? Summer's rolling to it, and welcome to myOrganized.life live. I'm John Hunt, and yes, Leanne Thompson is still gone on vacation, taking advantage of a great week here in Minnesota. Beautiful weather to be up north, so she will be back next week. I hope, now I'm hearing maybe she likes it so much she might stay up an extra few days. I don't know. You'll have to tune in Monday to find out if she actually comes back or not. I know it's difficult after you do this week of vacation. But anyway, so I had to do all the work this week for the whole show, every topic, including her favorite show, and actually mine, Blogger Roundup, where we talk about, and I would normally say she scours the web for the blogs, but this week I did. And you know, we've been doing a lot of back to school stuff. We're just almost kind of wrapping up back to school here in the next week. So a great way to find some blogs out there, as organizers are talking about, because that's what people need help on right now. It's just kind of that transition from summer to fall to vacation to school. So a lot of things changing right now. So we got some great blogs for you. So I'm going to put up the first slide right now. This is Linda Samuels, The Other Side of Organized.com. 7 expert tips that will help you organize back to school. And if you know Linda, her tips are expert. So she starts out by saying she's looking forward to one final vacation. She might even be on now like Leanne is, but before the cool days of fall arrive. So she says there's numerous ways you can help your kids switch from vacation to school mode. And even if you've already started the school year, say you're watching this in a few weeks from now and you've already started the school year, these are things that you can do to be organized really for the whole school year. She's got a beautiful, you have to go over to her blog, a nice little infographic on these 7 tips. So number 1, each year, weed out unwanted paperwork and recycle it. Place all the keepers, the things you want to keep, in a designated envelopes. So that's kind of good too, especially maybe if you're reusing some portfolios or folders from the previous year. Go through and get rid of the things that you don't need, recycle that paper, and get set up so that you have your organizing products all ready to go. Number 2, file away all artwork, graded papers, and programs as they arise. And so that's, this is a difficult thing to do because that paperwork kind of comes in on a weekly basis. So try to keep up on it. Maybe Friday afternoon, do some just filing every week, a little bit, just to keep that stuff stored and put away. Create a landing area in your home for coats, backpacks, books, etc. Because if you don't, what happens is things get strewn out all over the place. So have a designated landing zone. Let people know, your kids, that this is where they put their stuff when they come in. Number 4, create a work zone and put essential supplies in a suitable container nearby. Over on SME.com, we do talk a lot about homework zones and work zones. So get those equipped, get them set up so that everything you need is right there. So like when you sit down to do your homework, all of a sudden, I need a pen. Where's the stapler? What about the, those kinds of things. Also, if you check out from last week's Solution Day, we have a really nice desktop organizing set that we just released, which could look really nice in your work zone as well. So number 5, each fall, sort out clothes and replace outgrown items. Here in Minnesota, it's get rid of the short sleeve shirts and put the long sleeve shirts on because the weather's starting to turn. So get those all organized. Check out blogs for ideas, helpful tips on back to school organizing, or come to Blogger Roundup every Friday because we scour the web for the blogs and we bring you 3 of the best ones every week. And finally, take time out to appreciate the changing stages of your children's lives. And this is what I love about Linda. She's got, this into 7 points, but she's got 7 words. Cycle, capture, land, center, assess, resource, and perspective. And I love it how she always encourages you to put everything into perspective. Take a look at this, maybe it's your kids going into the first grade, this is a special moment. Maybe they're going into 12th grade and it's their last year. So there's always, or maybe going into college, there's always these transitions, and you want to just sit back, take it in, and enjoy it. So I'll put the slide up. The other side of Organized.com, Linda Samuels, 7 expert tips that will help you organize back to school. The next one is personalorganizer.com, preparing an information central for the new school year. Helen Outkast. And this is great because this kind of goes with our previous blog there about that work zone and setting up, kind of getting a space ready and getting some things ready. So she's got some great ideas here, and I'm not going to go through the whole blog, but the first one is she prepares what she calls a home management binder. So it's a notebook, and that's where she keeps all her school, sports, class-related materials, and communications, as well as a monthly calendar that she updates every month. So kind of a master book, and she keeps it right in that work zone. So that's a great tip. And if you go over to personalorganizer.com, and you can see she's really got some beautiful photographs of what this binder looks like, and just gives you some information. She keeps subsections in there for each child. There's things like school communication, roster, class schedule, field trips. So a lot of kind of like that main mission control book for school. So she uses a large binder for that. Another thing that Helen Outkast, is that she also in this binder will put some poly envelopes that can kind of hold things that are maybe odd sizes or just need to be stored not with a 3-hole punch, but it can be in a little pocket. So we also, over at myOrganized.life, have some self-adhesive poly pockets that you can literally attach right inside a notebook. So those are a great resource as well. The last thing I'm going to talk about here is in her kitchen. Now she has what she calls a pin board, but of course we have the Just-Stick board where you don't need pins, magnets, tape, or glue. And on this board, she puts children's artwork. She puts the calendar for the week or the month, maybe some invitations, special permission slips, and things like that. It's kind of that kitchen, main bulletin board there. We suggest you use our Just-Stick boards because things just stick on there. You don't need tape, glue, pins, anything like that. So, but it's a great thing in that control center area. The kitchen is kind of the control center area, and you can have things like artwork. You can put schedules and things like that. And she's got a really pretty example here on her blog as well. So why don't I put the slide once again? Personalorganizer.com, Helen Outkast, and this is preparing an information central for the new school year. All right, our final blog from our friend Ellen Lappe, professional-organizer.com, My Organizing Obsession, carts. Did you know that Ellen Lappe had an obsession with organizing? I think most professional organizers do, but she has an obsession with carts. And so this is just a kind of a fun way to talk a little bit about carts. She's got some examples if you go over to professional-organizer.com and look at the pictures she's got on there. But a couple carts she loves because, as she says, carts can add extra storage space for stuff and papers, and they roll to where you want if you get these carts. And the one that she starts out with is the rolling file cart. We like that too. In fact, if I look on the picture that she's got, it looks like she has our Smeed Fast Tab hanging folders right in this cart because they have the built-in tab right on the hanging folder, so the tabs don't fall off and fall in your drawer, or in this case in the cart. And this is kind of an open air cart, so they're perfect solution for that. But you can have kind of a portable filing cart and move it around, and she says the rolling file cart gives you options for accessible file storage, highly visible. You can see your files so that it's easy to remember your filing system setup, and a file cart with a storage below. This one particularly has a couple little baskets below. You can put your office supplies and so say, for example, in the work area we talked about before, maybe you don't have counter space for that. you could have the rolling cart that has your supplies and your files right there, kind of the mobile office. So the other cart that she's obsessed with is just this little, she calls it a cute utility cart, but it's a cart with basically some bins in it. And this can, she suggests adding storage for like a craft room, maybe even in a classroom if you're a teacher. And there's 3 tiers of storage that you can use to put just about anything. You don't hang folders in there, but you can put school supplies, or and they kind of come in different colors. She's got a very salmon colored one, I would say, also a darker one, which so they can kind of match your decor as well. Just go over, I'm going to put the slide up here for that one. This is a professional organizer, a professional-organizer.com, Ellen Lappe, my organizing obsession carts. I am missing Leanne here this week, having to do her job and my job while she is on the shores of some lake, hanging out in a pontoon boat, whatever they do, enjoying a great Minnesota summer. And speaking of great things in Minnesota, yesterday was the start of the Great Minnesota Get-Together, Minnesota State Fair. So next week, by the time Leanne and I both have gone there, we're going to bring you back some highlights from there, because it's an experience that if you can't be here live for it, you at least have to see some pictures from it. So we'll do that next week. We got a new podcast next week from a bunch of people's favorite organizer, a Nacho. He'll be here on next Wednesday. And he's always fun. So check that out next week. And Labor Day weekend's coming up. So a lot going on for the last week of August. So you'll have to come back next week starting Monday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. We do it every day right here on Facebook, except when we're gone. This is myOrganized.life live.